I realized that, oh, I'm not actually dependent on going to a doctor or a hospital every single time some little thing goes wrong. So I actually consider that the beginning of my deprogramming, mental deprogramming. That's when I finally put everything together and I was like, wow, my consciousness is actually in charge of my body. I never even knew it. Pain is a signal saying, hey, look out, something needs your attention, because it
Yes.
really is just a part of us, honestly. And if you think of it as a signal, as a message, you can, instead of turning away, you can turn towards it and say, okay, I'm listening. You got my attention. By just feeling the feeling that wants to be felt, we are depressurizing that emotion. So it's like that energy of pain or whatever trauma, it could be anger, it could be fear, it could be grief, whatever it is, just by feeling it and completely allowing it to make itself known, saying, anger, you are welcome here. And it's like steam rising out of a pot of boiling water. It just depressurizes. It becomes less dense. And you get in the body, you really ground, and you get into the body. And basically all you have to do, you put your attention on your body and you ask, body, what do you need from me today? What could I do for you? A small thing, one thing today that could make you feel loved and supported.
Hey everyone, it's Sophia from Sacred You. Thank you so much for being here. A quick message before we dive into today's conversation. You may have been watching the podcast videos, but have not had a chance to hit that subscribe button. So if you have ever gained value from our videos, from our conversations, it would mean so much to us if you would hit that subscribe button below right now, or even just give us a like. And what that means is not only does it allow us to grow our subscriber base, but it allows us to bring in more important guests for you to listen to. And you will be one of the first ones to be notified. So please hit that subscribe button and let's get started on today's conversation. Welcome to the Pathways to Wellbeing podcast. My name's Sophia from Sacred You, and with me on today's episode, I'm really excited. I'm so excited and honored to get to chat with the beautiful Anna Pashyanti. Anna, thank you so very much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Sophia, for inviting me. I just love to be in your circle, in your energy. I really love it. So thank you so much for having me.
Likewise, and with your beautiful background and where you live and your energy, it is a joy to talk to you. And like I said, we are honored to have you on the podcast today because of the energy that you bring and that you contribute to the world. So thank you very much. And I want to get into this wonderful conversation, Anna, because it's all about the body and what's the body trying to tell us. So you teach people to unlock their multi-dimensional superpowers for healing and transformation through energy work, meditation, and mystical expansion. Love to go into that more, Anna. So can you first, please, Anna, tell us a little bit about you, how you got to where you are now, and what first led you to explore the connection between the body and spiritual development, because that a lot is left behind. I do feel a lot of people don't really include the body in their spiritual development. So tell us about it for you.
I guess my journey had two parts. One of them, the first part was when I left the country. I'm from the US originally. I left the country. I went to Germany for some research for my dissertation. And all of a sudden, I had some minor health issues, nothing too serious, but I didn't know where the doctors were, and I didn't know how the health system worked. And I was like, it's a hassle to learn all that when I'm so busy with my work. So why don't I just do a little research and see what I can come up with? And by researching just myself online, just reading new things that I didn't think about before, I realized that, oh, I'm not actually dependent on going to a doctor or a hospital every single time some little thing goes wrong. It had never occurred to me before. So I actually consider that the beginning of my deprogramming, mental deprogramming. It doesn't sound like a lot as it in that sense, but it started from there and it went to other areas of life as well. Oh, there's so much more to reality than we've been told. Aha. I can heal myself just with something in my kitchen cabinet, for example. Or I can experiment with what my body needs, with what I eat, with what I do with my body, what I put on my body, and see what happens. And my body will tell me what it likes and what it doesn't like. Even that was mind-blowing to me at the time. And that led me then to investigate more and study about quantum physics, how the mitochondria and the quantum particles, the subatomic particles, are working in the body with the light and the photons and everything. And that led me onto consciousness.
Mm.
And then I had obviously many other adventures, but that led me to my spiritual awakening. And so then after that was the second part of my body spirit connection journey. And that was by accident. I would have a number of different experiences with meditation, with just intuitive communication with my body and various things, just on accident, just experimenting, not expecting anything. And I had so many different results, incredible results. That's when I finally put everything together and I was like, wow, my consciousness is actually in charge of my body. I never even knew it. So those are the two parts. It was just, I never looked back. It was incredible after that.
And now you've landed in the beautiful South America in the rainforest. And what a place to be to heal your body and on a spiritual journey. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. So it's helpful to have this connection with nature. I can wake up every day and just take a deep breath of fresh air. It's just that. And I can walk in the forest every morning with my animals. It's nothing fancy, but it's priceless. I'm just so grateful to be here. So yeah, the earth takes care of me. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it, when we actually allow ourselves just to be in connection with the earth, wherever we are. You are an extremely fortunate being in there. But even if you're not out in a rainforest, we can still get in connection with the earth. Doesn't matter, whatever it is. And it's incredible when we allow the earth, when we connect with that, and we allow the earth to heal us. We connect with the energy.
Yeah. Go hug a tree. Seriously,
Oh,
it really works. Go stand barefoot on the ground.
yeah.
It's really that simple. It will release energy, even electrical buildup from your body into the earth, for example. So many different things that really are actually researched nowadays by science, but that are so natural and intuitive, we've almost forgotten that. But yeah, anywhere you can find a little bit of nature, even if it's a plant in the house, it really makes a difference.
Because, because we now live in a world of tech. The majority of people, not everyone, but the majority of people spend a lot of their hours, a lot of their days, either on a computer in front of a TV, on a phone, anything like that. We also, again, generally walk around in rubber, rubber shoes, and we're not connecting, we're not on that earth. And there's a huge difference to when you're able to walk barefoot, or even as you said, just go hug a tree, just go put your hand on a tree and feel that energy. So yes, I'm jealous, totally jealous. And yes, we'll be coming to see you one day. And I'd love to know again from your experiences. We mentioned a little bit that many people on a spiritual path, we have this idea that we need to be elevated. We need to elevate our consciousness, which we actually really want to do. But in doing that, tend to overlook the body. So why do you think that the physical body gets left out of these awakening conversations or practices or everything? It's we know that we're not the body, but then we also forget about it.
Yes, it's really incredible when you think about it because we know that source is in everything, all around us, every little bit of inch or centimeter of every little bit of everything around us, inside us, everything. Source is everything in all of our cells, in the tables and the chairs, in everything. But yeah, we've seen some of the, let's say, more strict meditative traditions where they become so engrossed in the spiritual bliss of oneness that they forget they have a body. And so you see a lot of enlightened masters, let's say, for example, in India, who need people all the time to wash their bodies, to feed their bodies, to take care of their bodies, because they literally can't do that. And so that is incredible. That's not my experience, but I'm sure that is incredible to just enjoy the bliss of existence without having to worry about the physical body, sure. But I think nowadays we are in a place where we can use our wisdom and our learning from all the ancient traditions and all of our lineages to integrate all of this and more. So now we're integrating even our modern day existence, even the material world, even our bodies. And the way that I came into that was through emotional healing, because what is astounding is how much of our stored emotions are not just stored in some random energy field. Yes, that too, but they really have a tie to the body. And so the subconscious, I like to think of it as being the same as the body almost, because it's all stored right there in the body. It's really amazing. And so when we have any kind of emotion, for example, we'll feel something in the body. We'll have a physical sensation wherever
Yes.
it is all the time. It could be a nervous stomach, it could be a hot, flushed face or a hot, burning sensation in the chest when it's anger or something. It could have tingling fingers and whatever it is, headache, anything, but there's always a physical sensation to that. And so I think that is the body trying to get our attention because it doesn't want to be left out. It's like us leaving parts of ourselves behind. And how can
Mhm.
we leave a part of ourselves behind when we want to be completely integrated with source consciousness, which is in all things? If we're leaving a part behind, it's not integration, it's not full integration. So even logically, it makes sense. If we want to experience oneness, it has to include the material body as well.
Makes total sense, especially when you said if it's all about oneness, we have to include the physical body because it's our vehicle for being on this planet. Where, yes, we're all here to raise our consciousness and raise the consciousness of the planet, but we need, at this stage in our life, we need a physical body to communicate, to be able to do the things that we need to do, but yet we tend to overlook it. Mhm. And can I just say, Anna, I totally agree with you about emotions, of how our emotions are stored in our body. Totally, so very much and so very quickly. I experience that it's instantaneous. You have a thought and you're feeling it somewhere in your body, whatever that may be. But why do you think there's such a big misconception that when it comes to physical pain on a spiritual journey, instead of really like dealing with the pain, a lot of people try and go beyond it, to rise above it, instead of listening to the pain and finding out where it's actually coming from. Why is that so?
Well, it's still resistance. And I know it's hard to hear that because I'm not invalidating anyone's experience of pain. I know what pain feels like. There's been periods of my life where I wish my life would not continue. I understand pain very well, but in resisting and trying to just run away from it, it will only come back more and more. We've all
Mhm,
experienced that already.
mhm,
We can't run away from it. I know it's uncomfortable to feel the pain, but it's like when you place your hand on a hot stove. If you
mhm.
didn't feel the pain, you wouldn't know you should move your hand away. You could just leave your hand there and it would start to burn and things would get pretty bad. So the pain is a signal saying, hey, look out, something needs your attention. And so by running from it, let's say by numbing it out through whatever substances or diversions and distractions, or even spiritual, let's say bypassing, where we try to overcome it with our conscious, we try to meditate it away, manifest it away, that kind of thing. It just never works and it keeps coming back because it
Yes.
really is just a part of us, honestly. And if you think of it as a signal, as a message, you can, instead of turning away, you can turn towards it and say, okay, I'm listening. You got my attention.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And again, I agree with you because, I have a genetic condition. I have been in chronic pain all my life at various degrees and also gone through those various stages. I remember that once I was able to rise above the pain or overcome it by chanting, but that wasn't listening to it. That was suppressing the symptoms of the pain, but not going into the cause of the pain, not going into the signals that it was trying to tell me. And when I was able to do that through meditation, I also remember I did a 10-day silence retreat at some stage. And the messages that I received from my body through the pain was incredible. And I was able to release so much past experiences right back from childhood that I'd suppressed that were causing me pain in my knees, of all things, because I was open to be able to hear it and to listen to it. So,
Amazing.
yeah, so tell us more about your experiences, especially let's go into what you actually offer people, your somatic healing and your practices, your meditation and your mystical expansions and energy work. Tell us all about that and how do they play a role in your healing framework?
It's just to do exactly what you said. It is to listen to the messages, to go into the pain and allow it to be dissolved on its own by receiving the message, by moving and working with the energy. And it's everything that I've learned along the way. You're the perfect example that even if we don't have a lot of scientific articles written about how this works, we have our own experience. And which one should we believe more? Our own experience or some article someone wrote? I'm not knocking science, science has its place, but when we second guess ourselves, firstly, I just want to say, when we second guess ourselves and think, oh, I'm just imagining it, that's just in my head or whatever, we're doing ourselves a disservice because we are the experts of being us. We're the expert of our reality. And so our experience is probably the most important thing that we have to go on. So my experience was incredibly real. I would go from getting a terrible cold, for example, very severe cold, really all the symptoms, the scratchy throat, everything. And I would lay down and I would have a kind of, I would be horizontal, I would be flat, and I would go into a kind of a long meditation. When I really get into the zone, it'll go on and on. I remember when I was sick, I had this big cold. This was the first time I experienced this. It was when I discovered it by accident. I was coming down with a cold, was like, oh man, I'm going to try to sleep. And I couldn't sleep. So I laid down just as if I was trying to sleep and I couldn't sleep. But what did I do? I went into a meditation, a deep meditation. And my intention before the meditation, which is always the most important, was I talked to my body. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just like, let's try this. Body, just bring in all of the universal healing energies that are infinitely available to you. Bring them all into yourself, bring them all into my body to recalibrate whatever you need to do for pure and perfect health. And then I lay down into the meditation
Mhm.
and I was in the zone for 3 hours. My body just put me there.
Mhm.
It just put me there. I didn't fight it. I just went in there and I laid down, meditated for 3 hours, just not trying, not focusing, not striving and straining, just relaxing. And I could feel my body sort of buzzing and fuzzing and tingling. After the 3 hours, I stood up and I was completely healthy.
Mhm.
No signs at all. That's just one of the examples. So that is my clue that we are not only moving energies and we're not only working with energies, but we're working with our direct source. We're calling in the infinite source energies that is who we are. We're calling that in so to really feel it and make that light even brighter in every cell of our body. That's only one technique, but it's so empowering because you really feel the infinite power of source in you and it just heals you by way of peace and bliss. It's just incredible. And then we have so many other techniques to really get into the wisdom of the pain. We can talk to our bodies, let's say. So all of these things that I present in my course, because I want to teach people to do it for themselves. I want to empower you. I want to give you the tools to do this on your own. Because I'm not saying we don't ever need anyone. That's not true, of course. We need each other, lots of different ways. But there's so many things that we want to do on our own. And so I'll also teach to tap into your body's innate wisdom so we can have a communication with our body. We can say, if we have, let's say you had your knees, yeah? So if your knees are hurting, we can go into our knees. We can intuitively look around with our third eye. We can take a look. What do I see? What do I sense? Yeah, what's coming up to me? Does it look like something, some kind of sticky goo? What is that sticky goo? Let's go into the goo. Let's see, what is that? Just on an energetic level, just getting an image or a sensation. And then you can talk to your body. You can talk to your knees, be like, hey, knees, what's been going on? You've been asking for my attention. What's up? Why are you in pain? What do you need from me? Yeah, what can I do for you? What's your message? What would you like to tell me? And then we listen. And sometimes that's enough. I helped someone who had actually a kidney problem, a lot of pain, didn't have time to go to the emergency room. It was late at night. So he called me. I was like, please, I don't want to do the emergency. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I took him into a journey through his kidney. And even before we were finished with the session, the pain was gone. Just by the fact of him listening to the kidney wanted him to drink more water. He wasn't a water drinker, a simple thing. And he said, okay, kidney, I hear you. I'll drink more water. Sorry for neglecting you. Even before the session was done, that means he didn't even drink the water yet. The kidney stopped hurting because it had been heard. The message had been heard. And so we can also talk to the body as well. We can say, hey, kidney, I want you to really recalibrate in there. I want you to get everything in working order so that, the water and everything's working just as it should. You can tell that to your kidney as well, because if we're not consciously giving an order to our body, we're unconsciously giving an order to our body. If we are unconsciously saying, oh, I'm sick and tired of whatever, blah, blah, your words, I am sick and tired, are telling your body what to do. It's it doesn't seem fair, but once you realize what's going on, it is so empowering because now you know how to change it. So that's the main categories of techniques that I teach in my course because I've seen so many people that ask me how to do this, that really need this. And my heart goes out to them so much. It was the first course that I ever created because I really feel that it was the most important for most of the people that I've met. So I really hope it helps someone.
Thank you so much, Anna. And can I just take a moment just to really honor you? Truly, my heart goes out to you for everything that you bring to the world. We live in a world today, if I can say, where everyone wants everything instantaneously. They want the results totally. We live in a world where, people here in the West, anyway, I'm not quite sure about where you live, we don't have time. We don't have time to even chop our own vegetables for dinner because they're now pre-packed, pre-chopped, pre-everything. Everything's processed. And that includes overcoming our pain or listening to our bodies. We don't have the time. That's in our consciousness. So I'll go get a pill. I'll go and see the doctor and get a pill for my pain, which just covers up the cause of it. It treats the symptoms, it relieves the symptoms for that moment, but then those symptoms keep coming back. So then I'm going to go to the doctor and get a stronger pill. And before you know it, you're going down that rabbit hole of taking pills to overcome the reaction of the pills that you first started with. Instead of like you, just sitting down or laying down and talking to the body and allowing yourself the time to listen. And amazing stuff can happen. I totally get you. I totally hear you speaking my language. I do a lot of breath work. For me, breath work works really because it releases all the suppressed emotions. And when I really go into it, it also releases the past experiences. But that takes time. And I have a choice. I can take a pill or I can really allow my body to release and listen to it. Exactly what you did. You take it on a 3-hour meditation, but you didn't have to take any pills and you overcame your illnesses like that. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, it's such a good point that we don't take time for that. I know 3 hours sounds like a lot. And I wasn't intending it to be 3 hours and it just happened. But sometimes if we let the body lead, it will tell us. And you know what's so special about that is that it's really self-compassion. It's really a way of showing yourself love because you're listening to yourself. No, you're not the body, but the body is generated by your consciousness. And
Exactly.
the body is then a part of you. And so giving your body that love and that care and that compassion, no one else can do it.
Exactly.
And so it's really the emotion behind it that is behind everything. And that's part of what I teach as well. That's a big part of the course. It's just feeling our emotions. A lot of times we just take the time to feel the emotion, and that's all we need to do. It's if I get a pain or something, I'll say, instead of rushing around to get rid of it, even if I don't want to talk to it or have a communication with it or do a meditation, even if I don't want to do any of that, I can do a form of emotional or energetic alchemy, which is so simple to do. It's just being present and feeling. That's it. And so if we think of pain and trauma that's stored in the body as very dense, because it's all consciousness, but it's compact, it's really dense, it's under pressure, so we could say, by just feeling the feeling that wants to be felt, we are depressurizing that emotion. So it's like that energy of pain or whatever trauma, it could be anger, it could be fear, it could be grief, whatever it is, just by feeling it and completely allowing it to make itself known, saying, anger, you are welcome here.
Yes.
You are welcome here. Let me get to know you a little bit better. Just show me what you're made of. And it's like steam rising out of a pot of boiling water. It pressurizes. It becomes less dense. It dissipates into your consciousness. And it's a kind of a fancy way of saying it that this subconscious part rejoins your conscious mind to become whole because you're using your awareness, your consciousness. You are aware of it. You're putting your awareness on that feeling, letting it arise and melt into your consciousness. And that's how it dissipates. It doesn't disappear, but it appears to disappear because it's integrating with your consciousness. So basically, it's just changing its frequency then. I don't want it to sound too technical, but it's like instead of a separate pain and your consciousness over here, it's just your consciousness and your pain have been integrated. So now this part of your energy and this part of your energy are all just your consciousness, and which means you have more energy and more power at your disposal then to turn it into something you want. to create a life that you want, to feel happy and to treat yourself well. I hope that makes sense. I didn't want it to be too technical.
That makes total sense. I'm just taking notes, especially about creating the life
Okay.
that you want, because you are the living example of it. You're vibrant, your energy is vibrating, even though we're on tech and we're on the other side of the world, in the same hemisphere, but the other side of the world. I can feel your energy and you're radiant, vibrant. So it makes total sense because, Anna, you are the living example of it. And it's incredible, everything that you talk about, even your experience of when you got sick, when you got the cold, and it took you 3 hours without you even knowing about it. But imagine what would have happened if you didn't do that. And if you had taken a pill or whatever, which people do, you would have remained sick for numerous days
Yeah, I can
instead of
tell you what would have happened. I've had other experiences where I didn't do that earlier on in my life when I didn't do that. I have one example specifically in my mind that I wish didn't happen, but it does teach me what happens when we don't do this. So basically, I went on a date with someone and I was treated very badly by this man. And I came back to my home, to my city. I was traveling to meet him, have a date with him, and it was very disrespectful. I was so angry at how he treated me. And when I came back home, I immediately went on to meet some friends. I had some social gatherings I had to go to. And so I didn't have time to process my anger. And so what did I do? I literally felt the anger go from up here in my chest. I pushed it down into my sort of bladder area.
yes,
I felt the energy move down there. I felt it go down in it
yes,
because I had to have a conversation with someone. The anger was coming up, and I was like, push it down. I got to talk to this person. I got to say, oh, and everything was great. Oh, my trip was wonderful. Yeah, blah, blah. The anger, I felt the anger go into my bladder. Then I unfortunately realized very soon after that I discovered a bladder infection.
yes,
And my normal treatments didn't work. Normally, I would
yes,
just take some baking soda and some water and it would be fine. Nothing worked. So I went and got some antibiotics from the doctor, and that didn't work. And then I called him. I said, "Well, it didn't work. Should we take more? What should we do?" "Oh, the computer says you should be fine." That was the response I got. So I had the painful bladder infection for 4 years,
yes,
4 years straight without disappearing. 4 years straight, I had the pain. And what changed it was actually, also a weird story, but I get bitten by a tick in the woods. Not here, it was in Germany. I actually don't have many ticks here, but I got bitten by a tick and I got a fever. And I was like, oh man, now I've got something else. And so what happened was I had a huge explosion of anger come up just out of nowhere. There was nothing to cause it. There was no one that had pushed my buttons. No one mistreated me. No one did anything. Just that sort of that feverish, that energy of the tick bite brought up such a huge wave of anger that had been stored in my body for the last 4 years. I really was like, I could not contain it. I just let it out. Thankfully, I was by myself. I just let it boil out. And after that, then finally it went away. I was a match to some herbal treatments and some simple things that cured everything.
yes.
And it was gone, completely gone, never came back.
It's
I could
incredible.
feel the anger going down and then coming back up, and that was it. It was stored. I stored that anger for 4 years.
Just a shame, and I just wanted to thank you for sharing that because it's a shame that people don't realize it, that we suppress our emotions. They have to go somewhere. And if we don't express them, then they're going to turn inwards. And that causes a lot of dis-ease within our bodies. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you briefly mentioned your course. You've been talking about your course. Do you want to say anything more about your course? Now, we will be putting all your links below. So for everyone who is watching or listening, do click on these links below and reach out to Anna and check out your course. Tell us a little bit more about your course.
Oh, it's really just, it's everything that I've discovered that helps people. I've left out everything that sometimes works, but not always. It's just what is the very basic techniques that everyone needs to know to be able to do this. It is life-changing. And the most important thing of all, it empowers you. You can use it as a complement to your other treatments with your doctor's everything totally fine. Use it as a compliment. It doesn't have to be a replacement. It's okay. But to have that communication with your body, it's priceless. And I also have an intro course that I like to give people for free. If you don't have the link, I'll give it to you. But it's called Body Wisdom 101. And it really prepares you to do the healing work because before you do the healing work, sometimes you need to really prepare yourself. Like you need to clear your field of external energies. For example, if you got all these other external things going on in your field, you're very empathic probably. You're picking up other people's emotions and thoughts and energies. How are you going to listen to your own signal?
Yes.
You have to get the noise out first. You have to cut through the noise and identify your signal, your own body's energy and your own body's intuition. And so that will help you prepare and really bring your energy back and then ground in and then start the dialogue. And so that's all free. That preparatory course I want to give people for free because even with that, you can do wonders.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've got so many more questions for you, Anna. I think you're going to have to come back. But moving on from what you just said, I was going to ask you, is there a simple practice, a daily practice or a body check-in that you can recommend for anyone who wants to open up their communication with their body?
Yep, 100%. Once you've gotten in a quiet place where you're not disturbed, just get comfortable. Nothing special, nothing fancy. If you know how to do it, you clear your field of external energies first. Just send it all out, intend that it all goes, and then bring your energy back in, really become present in the moment and in tune with your own energy, with your own sensations. And you get in the body, you really ground and you get into the body. And basically all you have to do, you put your attention on your body and you ask, body, what do you need from me today? What could I do for you? A small thing, one thing today that could make you feel loved and supported. What do you need to be at a higher level of health? Just ask it these basic questions because we don't have only one brain in our heads. We have a brain in our heart and we have a brain in our gut. We have as many neurons in the gut as a cat does in its brain. So we actually have think of it as a pet cat there in your gut area, and it knows what it wants, it knows what it needs. You've got trillions of bacteria there that know what they want and what they need, and they're in a mutually beneficial cycle with you. So they know what it is, what they need to thrive. So you just ask your body. You can ask your gut, you can ask any part of your body, but just ask your body as a whole. Body, what do you need from me right now? And just be open to what answers come. It could be, you could have two different reactions. You could have a flood of information, like all these images, sensations, and feelings, and words, and ideas, and thoughts of, oh, finally, you're listening to me. And the body just gives you all of this information at once. That could happen. Or also the body could say, I'm not sure if you're really listening. You haven't been listening in the past. So are you really going to be here for me? I don't know. So it might take a little while. Maybe you try it a few days in a row and keep asking. And eventually the answers will come. So it could come quickly and it could also come slowly because you can think of it, it has its own personality. It has its own, yeah, own personality. And so it could be, finally, you've asked me the question. Finally, you're listening. Or it could be, I'm not sure I trust you yet. Do you really care? So either way, just start asking. Ask your body what it needs. You can do that right now. And you never know. You never know what you could come up with.
And really do whatever you can to fulfill whatever your body needs, because as you said, that develops trust.
So true. So true. Yeah. If you promise to do something, definitely do it in whatever way you can. Yeah.
Totally. Thank you for sharing that. And ditto to everything that you said. Totally agree with you. I'd love to ask you more, and let's talk about your community. Before we started, we were chatting about that you've developed a new school community. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so it's on the school platform and it's open to everyone. I was getting the impression from the comments and the responses to my work that people really needed a community. Your community is a perfect example. So many people are benefited that not only from the content that they're provided, but just the feeling of belonging.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it was a spur of the moment thing, but I call it rewilding the soul because I think that really sums up my mission in a beautiful way because we are going back to our true nature. And so, yes, that does mean connecting with nature itself, like I am here. But it also means going back to our true nature as infinitely powerful souls, infinitely connected to source, one with source, and allowing ourselves to be happy and sovereign over our own bodies and over our own lives, thinking for ourselves and in charge of our own emotions and our own energies. That is rewilding the soul. That is going back to nature, how we truly are and how we truly should be and how we truly want to be. And so that is the mission of our community. It is to firstly be together while we do this
Mhm.
because how many people, ever since I opened the community, just everyone has been, oh, thank you for doing this because everyone's looking for a connection. We're
Yes.
less and less connected as the years go by with the technology. On one hand, of course, the technology is allowing us to connect. The
Yes.
school platform is digital, yeah, but it's also private. The public's not reading what we talk about. And we have like live gatherings. Like I'm going to do a live gathering for the solstice. And it's just can be informal. We chat, we get to know each other, and then we meditate together because the energies are so much more powerful when we do this together. And so I just feel like it was the right thing at the right time. And so far, the response has been pretty positive. If anyone's interested, you're all welcome. You're all invited. And just to be yourself, to go back to your true nature, to be yourself, to feel supported and connected, can be as simple as that. And there are courses in there too. So there are some courses there and yeah, in our live events. So it's just to take a deep breath and rewild ourselves.
Wild ourselves. It's so true. And thank you. We will be putting all your links below. So for anyone else who's interested in checking out Anna's community, do click on those links. So thank you so very much, Anna. And I will certainly be checking him out too myself and joining. So thank you because again, you bring such beautiful wisdom. And we are honored to have you as part of Sacred You community. So thank you. And I'd love to know, Anna, if you could go back to your younger self when you were in Germany, that you experienced that the relationship and what you went through with your kidneys and your infection and everything else and your anger. If you could go back to your younger self and tell your younger self just one truth about the body and your spiritual growth, what would that be?
Feel your feelings.
Feel your feelings.
Feel what you're feeling. Feel your feelings. That's it. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, whatever it is. That it's never wrong. You don't have to act on them and try to hurt someone out of anger. Not, it's not like that. You sit quietly in your own space, and if you need to hit the pillow and scream and cry, that's perfect. Just let your body do what it needs to do, but feel your feelings completely.
Mm.
And then, of course, I would say we'll have some boundaries. Some people disrespect you as well, but that's a different point.
It's a different point and a one and another conversation maybe, but so very powerful. Because if we don't have boundaries within ourselves, for ourselves, and if we don't respect our own boundaries, no one else is going to. And that leads to emotional pain, emotional feelings. And when we suppress that, that comes into physical pain. So it's very important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's all about self-love and compassion. It's really as simple as that. If we treat ourselves with as much respect and love as we do other people, we would listen to ourselves. We would treat ourselves kindly. We would give ourselves rest when we need it. We would give the body what it needs. It's just as simple as that. Feeling our feelings is being unconditionally loving and accepting of ourselves. That's what it is.
and that could be quite honestly the answer for my next question is what's been the most surprising spiritual insight that you've received through the body rather than going around it?
Yeah, basically it's that my cells can literally call in source energy and start to shine with photons.
Yes.
I literally can start shining with a brighter light, literally. It's photons. This is real stuff. Just because we can't see every little photon and every little wave of energy doesn't mean it's not real. It is so real. No, feeling my connection to source in my body. How incredible is that? How many times do we, like you said at the beginning, make the separation between the physical and the spiritual? But to feel source in my body, oh my goodness. And it's something everyone can do. It's something I could do way back, even before I was meditating very much. You don't have to be super enlightened. You don't have to be an expert meditator. You don't have to be anything in particular. Just you can be yourself right in the moment, right here and now. Just be present with yourself.
Totally agree with you. And you can already feel that energy when you just allow
Yeah,
yourself to be present, to tune into source, whatever that source is for you, and to fill your cells, your physical body, to fill it up with that source energy. It's amazing. And if you do that every day, even if it's only for a minute, then incredible things can happen. So thank you for sharing that. So, Anna, I'd love to know as we close today's conversation, what's a final message that you would like to leave with all our listeners, and especially for anyone who wants to reconnect with their body to deepen their spiritual awakening?
the message is simple. You can do this. You can do it. Whoever you are, you can do it. And I know you can because I've done it. So many people I've helped have done it. And a lot of them don't even believe in the spiritual woo. And it still works for them. So I know you can do it. This is true empowerment. You have the power to connect with your body, to talk with it, to listen to it, to connect to source. All of this is at your disposal. You can do this. Be empowered. Know how truly powerful you are. That's all I want them to know.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. And you, again, you are the walking example of it, the living example of when we connect with our bodies and how what a change in lifestyle that it can bring about, because we only have one body in this life. So why not listen to it? Thank you for sharing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And for you, Anna, what does the pathway to well-being mean?
It means a pathway to ourselves, to really connecting in with ourselves. Because when we know how truly amazing we are, how truly powerful and wise and compassionate we are, that is our path to well-being, is to just be more and truly ourselves in the fullest sense of the word, in the fullest sense of the word. Know yourself as the infinite source that you are.
I love that. Know yourself as the infinite source that you are. Love it so much. Is there any other question that I could have asked you? And how would you answer?
I just want people to know that they deserve this too. There's a lot of feelings of worthlessness also, and not deserving to be healthy or to be well or to feel powerful. And I want people to know that they do deserve this. You deserve this. You are worth it. You are precious and unique. The world is not complete without you.
Yeah,
So please know that you deserve this. Yeah. You deserve to be healthy and happy, and you deserve to feel the power you have in your life along with the power of source. Just go forth and be your powerful self. Please.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so very much. I'm writing all notes. So it is, like I said, it has been a true honor. And please do come back. Been
I feel so supported in your energy, Sophia. You're so welcoming. You have such a caring, compassionate energy. I really feel seen. You really make people feel seen and heard and understood. So thank you so much for your gift to all of us.
Thank you. And for everyone who is watching or listening again, do click on those links below and reach out to Anna. It's been such a wonder and an honor to be here today. I feel enlightened just by having this conversation. Thank you so much. Wow, what a beautiful and inspiring conversation with Anna, who is an incredible example of how our life can be when we remain connected to our source energy. Her reminder that healing, connection, and empowerment are already within you brings this discussion full circle. Reach out to Anna, even if it is just for a chat. Visit her website to explore everything that she has to offer, including her somatic healing courses, her free introductory offering, Body Wisdom 101, as well as her beautiful community, Rewilding the Soul. All the links are below. For more empowering conversations, tools, and strategies, do follow Sacred You on all our social media or visit our website at www.sacredyou, that's the letter U, .love. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or give us a like so that you never miss another episode. In Anna's own words, you are powerful, you are worthy, and your body is your greatest ally on this journey. Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast. Stay grounded, stay inspired, stay connected, and until next time, keep walking your pathway to well-being.